Hey, what's happening, Jets fans? This is GreenBean, and welcome to another video. Before we get started, I want to remind you about the contest we're having right here. All you need to do to enter is to hit that sub button right on this very channel, and then pop over to Full-Time Coaster Tour on YouTube, my other channel, and sub there, and you are entered. You can win one t-shirt of your choice from the GreenbeanJetsfan.com merch store, and one grand prize winner will also get a t-shirt, plus they will get the Manscaped Ultra Smooth package. Imagine that, and some stickers. I feel like stickers might be included. So with that all said, I want to get into the video. This week is interesting because we're winding down this season of tumult. It has been up and down and all around. We've seen true moments of greatness, whether it be Zach Wilson or Mike effing White. We've seen that, and we've seen some low lows, man. But through all of it, Robert Saleh came out this week and said that he is genuinely excited about the future of this team. Loves the plan, loves the talent, so much young youth to build this team around. And it got me thinking, I'm like, really? So excitement, is that the word I would have used? Maybe not. I might not have come out and said that exact word, but it did lead me to, checking in and trying to see what could he be excited about. As you guys know, I always try to find the positives in any situation. It's kind of my gig. And I do come up with some stuff from time to time. Sometimes it's harder than others. But this time I went in and I looked at exactly what Robert Saleh could be excited for. He's talking about the youth of this team. This particular draft class is something that he mentioned by name. So let's take a look and see. We'll try to cut through the malaise, through the haze and the fog. Let's get to the core of this thing and really take a look. Should we be excited? Because it's not easy to be excited through all the losses and injuries and all the stuff that we see on a daily basis. All the stuff we see can make it difficult. So let's take a look at some of the young players that we could be excited about moving forward. So number one on that list is my favorite of the young guys, and that is Elijah Vera-Tucker. As you guys know, I love myself some draft picks, particularly third round. I love third round draft picks. That's the meat of the draft, in my opinion. We gave up both of them to move up into the first round from 23 to 14 to grab Elijah Vera-Tucker. Now, let me not move forward without mentioning that the Vikings also threw in a fourth round pick, so it's not quite as bad. We did get a fourth. We gave up 2/3 and our first to get their first and a fourth, so that makes it a little bit better. But we moved up to take Elijah Vera-Tucker, a guy that many said was leaps and bounds the finest guard in this entire draft. People compared him to Quentin Nelson and all that sort of stuff. So how's he doing? He's done pretty damn well. Now, he did have a rocky start like the entire offensive line, and people were saying that Joe Douglas was an idiot and this guy's no better than anybody else. You can honestly be excited for this young left guard that we have. He's an animal. And just this last week's game, he really showed what potential that he has. He was absolutely dominating people all day long. And he's still raw. He's still a rookie. He's got a lot to learn. He's going to only get better, in my opinion. And he's somebody that we should be excited about. Number two, Michael Carter, the running back, our fourth round pick. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a bummer that he's out, and he went out as soon as Zach Wilson came back in from his injury, so we haven't gotten to see that yet. But in the last period of time, 5 games or so, Michael Carter has really come out as the premier back on this team, and I'm going to use the word stud. Michael Carter is an absolute stud. Now, what are we going to do around him on the running back, in the running back room? I don't know. I did like Josh Adams. He's gone. I like LaMichael Pirine more than guys like Austin Walter and even Ty Johnson. But it is what it is. I think that this room is not quite developed yet. We might keep Ty Johnson around, maybe even Tevin Coleman for a year. But I think we're going to end up drafting somebody. Just a little nugget for you to chew on. Isaiah Spiller, somebody I like a whole bunch in this year's draft. So, but Michael Carter, dude, that guy's a stud. And he's going to be a very, very important offensive piece moving forward. Now we'll get to the obvious one. Elijah Moore I'm telling you, this guy can be our number one wide receiver. And even if he's not that traditional number one, he can be a lethal offensive weapon. And he's just coming into his own. Not perfect yet. He still gets drops. He's just not a perfect receiver. He's a rookie, but he has shown the last 6 or 7 games that he is nobody to be messed with. And I think, again, just like I said with AVT, he's going to be somebody that continually gets better. So that's 3 of this year's first group of draft picks. And I'm going to throw somebody else in that I am excited about. Now, we haven't seen him this year, but I think when we did see him, he was absolutely dominating. And again, he's young, he's going to get better and all that. We haven't seen Mekhi Becton this year, and lots of people are writing him off. This guy's fat, this guy sucks, he's never going to be anything. I want to remind you of 2 things. One is he has not had one injury related to his weight. Remember last year, Samini or somebody put out an article, said he's eating himself to death or some crazy stuff like that. His trainer went and put out those videos immediately following that and said, no, there's no truth to that story. This is what Mekhi Becton's doing. This is what he looks like, and he looked impressive. He looked like a sleek, slender monster is what he looked like. So now, would we like to see him? Of course we would, but we got to remember that our last really dominating left tackle was D'Brickashaw Ferguson, first-round pick in the 2006 draft. And I want to remind you guys, lots of you guys were here then. A lot of you weren't here yet. I'm going to tell the guys who weren't here yet, and I'm going to remind the guys that were. Up until his 3rd season, everybody was calling D'Brickashaw Ferguson a jag at best. He's never going to be more than average. The guy missed 1 snap in his entire 10-year career, and he was locked down on that left side. He's made it to the Pro Bowl a handful of years, 3 or 4 times. The guy's great. Okay, he was great for us, and if Mekhi Becton can get that kind of career going, it's going to be more than okay. I would be very, very happy with that. But again, the Jets fans were giving up on him in year 1, 2, 3. They were giving up on him too. It's the same stuff. Guys can come back from this stuff, and I have no concerns about Mekhi Becton, and I'm even sticking the little flag of excitement on the top of his helmet. So he's another one that I'm excited for moving forward. And it all boils down to this. We're going to go as our quarterback goes. And a lot of people going from predictions of 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns and 5 picks, comparing him to Mahomes and Rodgers. He's a hodgepodge. He's a hybrid of Mahomes and Rodgers. He's the best quarterback who ever lived. That's the stuff that we were hearing coming into the draft and everything. End the season, and now we're hearing things like he's too small, he's too stupid, he's never going to do this and that, he's a jag. We're hearing all this stuff. Me, I have 0 concerns about Zach Wilson. Now, would I have liked to seen him kind of get out of the fog earlier? Of course. But he's somebody that I'm genuinely excited about. We're seeing him settle down. We're seeing him progress. And I can understand if this team feels good about AVT, Michael Carter, Elijah Moore, Mekhi Becton, and Zach Wilson. Now, let's go to like a tier 2. Those are the guys I'm legitimately excited about on the offensive side of the ball. Now, tier 2 for the offense, we have guys like Isaiah Wilson. Isaiah Wilson is a 28-year-old guard, 6'3", 296 pounds. He was an undrafted free agent of the Redskins, but I want to tell people something that they might not know. Isaiah Wilson, it's not Wilson, it's Williams, damn it. This Wilson-Williams thing has got me tied up, man. I can't seem to shake it. I always say it wrong. If your name's Wilson, I'm calling you Williams. If your name's Williams, I'm calling you Wilson. I apologize. It's not intentional. So Isaiah Williams, the guard, and he played for the 49ers last year. So LaFleur and Benton, they know this guy. They wanted to bring him over. He's developing on our practice squad, but he's somebody that is going to be more than likely a part of our pipeline. We hear these words so much, and I'm excited to have him on the team. Another guy that almost no one knows about is someone I love, Ross Pierschbacher out of Alabama, two-time All-SEC first team guard slash center, a fifth-round pick of the Redskins in 2019, was it? Yes, in 2019. He's also sitting on our practice squad developing, and these are two guys that, hey, we haven't seen him yet, but if Robert Saleh is looking at his young core, these are guys that have all the potential in the world to come in, and even if they're not starters, depth and all that sort of stuff. So I'm excited about Isaiah Williams and Ross Pierschbacher. Let's talk about Kenny Yeboah. Just because we're not seeing Kenny Yeboah play right now doesn't mean that he's not somebody to be excited about, guys. He's a raw, undrafted free agent. You guys know I liked him a whole bunch coming out of the draft. And he hasn't seen much offensive field time. He has seen a bunch of special teams. I want to remind you of somebody that we might remember. His name is Troy Polamalu. Was nothing but a special teamer his entire rookie year, and then became Troy Polamalu. Now, am I saying Yeboah is going to be Troy Polamalu? No. I'm just saying, just because this is the rookie season doesn't mean anything. So when he looks at the development of a guy like Kenny Yeboah, I think that can be somebody that he knows is developing nicely. We're not seeing him on the field, but the coaches are seeing him. So we also have LaMichael Pirine. I'm excited. I don't know if Saleh's talking about Pirine, but I think Pirine is a 23-year-old back. They might not like what he's presenting right now, but he's a hard worker and all that. So he's somebody that could be a part of this room. When I was talking about Michael Carter, I do see guys like Tevin Coleman and Austin Walt. I see those guys, walking off into the sunset, and I think Pirine's going to be somebody that stays around, at least given a shot. I'd like to see it this year, but it is what it is. But he's somebody that could be a part of this rotation. And the last guy I'll mention is Denzel Mims. Now, I know this staff doesn't seem to like him, but we're about to see a lot of Denzel Mims. Everybody's hurt, man. So you can dislike him all you want as a coaching staff, but he's there and he's coming in. And my hope is that these last 4 or 5 games that Denzel Mims shows them exactly what he can do on the field. He's always been known as a gamer. They're really holding these practices or whatever they're doing, over his head. But here's the thing with Denzel Mims. Even if he doesn't end up cracking this starting lineup with this staff who, for whatever reason, just doesn't like him. They don't like him as a player, whatever that means. He does have trade value. So at bare minimum, you're going to be able to at least get something for Denzel Mims that we can bring on a player that we do want to use. Or we're going to see Denzel Mims come out of the dark this week and show them, hey, man, you can't keep me off the field when I play like this. And that's what I'm hoping. So that's the offensive side of the ball. Let's get into the defense. Who's Robert Saleh excited about on the defense? Our defense has been dog duke, has it not? It's been terrible. Now, they do end up stiffening in the second half and all that sort of stuff, but the truth is they have trouble stopping the screens, stopping the tight ends, the quick slants. They don't seem to cover anybody, but there is talent on the defense worth being excited about. At the top of that list is Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall in his second year is showing the league, hey man, I'm here to play and I'm here to stay. And I think that's somebody worth being excited about. And he's only going to get better too, in my opinion. I mean, he's known as an incredibly hard worker, unaffected by negatives, super strong character, all those things. And Bryce Hall's had some really nice games. Still young, he's going to make his mistakes, but excitement should be warranted where Bryce Hall is concerned. Now, what about Michael Carter II? A lot of guys didn't see it coming, but he's ended up being one of the stronger nickelbacks in this entire NFL. He has had quite the season. Now, he's in concussion protocol when I'm making this video, and that's a bummer. But I do think Michael Carter could be an answer long-term for our nickelback position, our slot corner. I think that he can be somebody that we're talking about for years here, at least his full rookie contract. And that's one of those things, man, when these guys stay together for 4 or 5 years, that's when we're going to start to see real progress. Like, look at the Bills. That defense has been together in large part since 2018. They just keep adding a guy, adding Rousseau. That's what they do. But the core of those guys has been together since 2018. We have not seen anything like that in decades. So having these young guys here, Bryce Hall, Michael Carter II, as part of this defensive backfield, I think can really produce dividends as we move forward. Bryce Huff, injured, but who didn't like what he was showing? Undrafted free agent coming in, knowing if they're going to get him back, that he's definitely going to be a part of this exciting defensive line rotation. I think he's another one worth being excited about. How about Brandon Echols? Brandon Echols, another late-round pick defensive back for us, ended up starting all year. Now, he's been picked on a little bit, but he's also had very strong games. Again, rookie year late-round pick, you gotta expect the difficulties, the hurdles, the obstacles. But man, he's held his own this year, and I think that he's another one that they could be excited about. Again, we're talking about 3 defensive backs that are going to be together for years if they do continue to show progress. That in and of itself is going to pay dividends. What about Quincy Williams, who I constantly call Quincy Wilson, and since I made the mistake earlier in the video, I've been keeping it right here. You say Quincy Williams. So I did it. I got it right. Quincy Williams, now he's not perfect. Again, he's not having that season where every game is the same production. But he is having games where you go, whoa, man, that guy comes out shot like a cannon. He comes out running fast, hitting hard, and I think that he's someone, again, if he's a part of this scheme, part of the defense with these same players, I think he can be an important part and somebody worth being excited about. What about Quinnen, his brother? Quinnen Williams, now you could definitely make a case that this season has been disappointing for him. You could make that case. At the same time, Quinnen Williams has done something that might not get as much press, but it's really arguably more important is Quinnen Williams seems to get his stats when you need him to get the stats. 4th down and short, 3rd down and short. There's those types of situations. That's when Quinnen Williams has a knack for coming up big. And that is the most important thing. We don't have those players around here. We have players that pad their stats. They get all kinds of picks and or sacks when it doesn't matter. That's when they do it. Like, I don't want to bring up any names, but lots of guys like that. So Quinnen Williams, another one you can be excited about. Now, we'll get into the tier 2s. This guy was kind of on tier 1, tier 2, but he's somebody that has received a lot of negativity from the fan base, and that's Ashton Davis. But if you look at every single week, he's playing better, and he's becoming more comfortable out there. And he's another one. We got to give him time. We got to give him time, and I think that he could be somebody that the coaching staff might be excited about as well. What about Jamien Sherwood? Now, Saleh was really excited about this guy before he went down with an Achilles injury. I can't believe we have 3 Achilles injuries. Carl Lawson, Jamien Sherwood, and Marcus May all popped their Achilles tendons this year. And like I've said before, sometimes you can go a decade without an Achilles injury. And here we are with 3 in 1 year. Maybe we're getting it out of our system. I don't know. That'd be nice. But Sherwood is someone that Robert Saleh and Ulbrich seem to like a whole bunch. And I think he would be included in the batch that they're excited about. Now here we'll get to some names that maybe aren't so exciting to the fans, but I could see why they would be exciting to the staff. First one up is Hamza Nasruddin. Hamza Nasruddin is, in many opinions, myself included, the steal of this draft for us. 6th round pick, really was being talked about as a 2nd round pick. We got him in the 6th round because of some injuries and stuff like that. And he has been primarily a special teamer this year. But again, somebody with boatloads of talent. Don't forget, he's switching positions from safety to linebacker. So, look, that's not as easy as a lot of people like to make it seem. Some guys are quicker than others. But Nasruddin has nothing but talent and definitely somebody that they're developing. So we'll see how he comes along. But somebody, again, I think they might be excited about him. How about Hamilcar Rashed? Now, he has barely cracked the 53 all year. He's had his moments and stuff. He hasn't done much. But again, uber talented, and he's an undrafted free agent for a reason. A lot of those guys are talented. Look at Bryce Huff. So look at Javelin Guidry. So these are guys that just because they're undrafted free agents doesn't mean they can't play. It means that they have something like raw ability, so like they're going to take a little while to develop, so they don't want to use actual draft picks on them, and that makes sense. But he's somebody I can see them being excited about. How about Jonathan Marshall? I think Jonathan Marshall, our 6th-round pick last year, is going to be the reason that it's okay to let some of these defensive tackles go. Maybe Nathan Shepard, maybe even Foley Fadukasi. Now, Jonathan Marshall's not the same type of player as those guys. At the same time, I think that he's going to come in and probably be a part of the rotation next year, and guys like Nathan Shepard will be going somewhere else, most likely. We'll see how that goes. So there you have it. There are some other guys I could throw out there, but that's the main beef, the main meat of the sandwich, in my opinion. What do you guys think? You think Saleh is just kind of giving us some lip service, or do you think he means what he says? Is he genuinely excited for the foundation that they're laying? Don't forget, we have 9 picks this year, a lot of them up top. We have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, so we're going to be able to add some talent to this team. We have money in free agency as well. So with this core developing, I think as we stack on top of it and keep these guys around, I think there could be reason to be excited, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm always anxious to hear your thoughts. And as always, I hope you're having a great day, and go Jets.